11 starts now.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Christina Guessford. This afternoon, Governor Kathy Hochul signed off on New York's $229 billion spending plan, but very few are celebrating tonight. This is the state's highest ever budget and was passed more than a month after deadline. Channel 3's Rachel Mann is live here in studio to walk us through what happened. Rachel?
Christina, lawmakers have called this process frustrating and opaque. The initial budget that goes before them is assembled by the governor and majority leaders, all of whom are currently Democrats. Even still, they all had a hard time getting on the same page, leaving Republicans saying this is the worst budget they've ever seen.
$229 billion is more than Texas and Florida spend combined, and they both have more people than New York.
North Country lawmakers, Republican Senator Dan Steck and Democratic Assemblyman Billy Jones say the state's spending plan is far from perfect, in addition to being a month late.
It's a staggering money that eventually the taxpayer is going to have to pay for.
We shouldn't have a bunch of policy in it because it just distracts away from our work of actually getting a budget.
The biggest holdups to the budget were two major policy changes put forth by Governor Hochul. One to create 800,000 housing units, which didn't make it through, and another addressing bail reform, giving judges more authority.
Attention to detail.
It now gives them discretion if they need to hold violent criminals accountable. It upholds our fundamental belief in a criminal justice system that is fair and accessible to all.
Political analyst Harvey Shant says governors interjecting policy into major pieces of legislation like the budget is becoming more common practice.
If a governor is interested in a particular item, by putting it in the budget, she forces the state legislature to take a look at that item at the time.
While the art of the compromise left most people dissatisfied, lawmakers say it's not all doom and gloom.
But I'm very happy with the money for the Environmental Protection Fund, $400 million, and a lot of that is getting spent right in the Adirondacks, and D.C. historically has done a very good job with that, so that's a good investment.
And that excitement is echoed in the region. John Sheehan with the Adirondack Council says the millions in funding they receive will go a long way for its 137,000 residents and roughly 8 million tourists.
Having a wonderful wilderness area that's remote and beautiful is only half of the picture. It has to be ecologically stable and be a place that ecologically can survive and sustain itself into the future.
Our job is to govern. Our job is to deliver a budget to our to the residents of New York State, and that's what we did.
There is still lingering concern about a plan to intercept Medicaid funds that made it into the budget. Steck says the plan to reroute funds meant to go straight to counties won't happen for another several years, but when it does, residents will likely see a property tax increase. Christina?